If you didn't understand before, I hope you understand now. Because you're now listening to the We Talkin podcast brought to you by Island Girl Team. This podcast, we are literally talking about every and anything with your girl, Kamilah Gumbs. So subscribe from wherever you get your podcast and get ready to talk. Welcome to episode 4 of the We Talkin podcast. My name is Kamilah Gumbs, and today's episode is going to be a fun one. I got my friend Tori Carter with me, and today we're going to just talk about, I guess, life. I mean, life has been lifing, so we're going to just talk about life. Growing up in St. Martin, as you know, we're the best thing that ever came from 1999, so you already know how it goes. So, hi, Tori.
Hi. No lies were told in that line, okay? We're the best.
We're the best thing that ever happened to this entire universe ever.
Exactly. Best thing that came out to SMMC, okay? Let it be known.
Ain't nothing better come out from Cahill than us. Okay, so...
Let it be known.
Let it be known. Let it be known. As you can tell, me and Tori like nonsense. So this one is going to just be a good time, a grand time. And we fully don't even know what we're going to be talking about. So conversations will vary hourly.
Really, we just want to be on vibes, you know? Like just pretend you're in the room with us. You know, just act like we having a little bestie combo, you know, like a trio up in this, you know? Wait, that's I realize how that sounds.
Boy, we are already starting off great.
You know what I mean, though.
We know. Do we? That's fine. So let's start off. Tori, how life going with you and the Netherlands?
Listen, the fall season hitting, the nights getting longer. We in peak, how you call it? The peak start of school. So you already know. Retrograde just end. I never believed in retrograde until this retrograde. Let me tell you.
Oh my gosh, this retrograde. Oh, the last 2-3 weeks of my life. My poor therapist. Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about it. Actually, let's talk about it. How was retrograde treating you, Kamilah? Tell me.
Boy, let me just say, I finally in a place where my grades are, we get in there. Because we were at a point where it was just like, I was not getting that honors distinction, graduated next semester. Them grades weren't looking very, I know how to be educated. You know what? Oh, yeah, I don't know how to be educated. So we getting there. Can't really dive too deep into work stuff, but let's just know if you care about my well-being, just Google Wichita State Student Government Association and you'll understand my life for the last couple of weeks. Great times.
Oh,
love that for us. What else? People still want me to fix the world. I can't fix it, but I still going to try to fix it. So I don't know what's happening. And I guess I'll still be public about this. Me still get my money. So boop. So they're going great, classes. Registration for classes that starts in like 2 weeks.
Your period, right? We got some positives in there, you feel me?
Oh, but I can't register for class if I don't pay off my tuition.
And never mind. Shit.
So that's how that's how we move. Also, I'm looking people up to check my grade. I just realized I got an email saying my grade was in, and now I need to see what I get. Well, how was retrograde treating you, my friend?
For me?
Yes, you. Who else, Tori? Who's the next person here? We're not breaking the fourth wall.
The other person listening, they want, okay, let me stop.
Yeah, we're going to just put like a little silence for them to answer to us. Like, pause now and answer this question. And we
will... But let me start. Like, I just want to say, like I said, I never really understood the concept of retrograde, right? I was like, retrograde. I don't really know what it means, And then the retrograde hits in Libra. If you don't know, I'm a Libra sun and I'm a Libra rising. Okay, I'm about as Libra as they come. All right. Now, it started on my birthday, the retrograde, and from that day until the end, October 18th, life was just pure chaos. Now, let me tell you, every day was a waking what's gonna go wrong today day, basically. On the bright side, my mother came down. I got to see her, but let's put it into perspective. I live in Groningen. I live in the north of the Netherlands. Where my mother was in Amsterdam. Everybody know where Amsterdam is. It's all the way down.
Who said everybody know where Amsterdam is? Don't you have people pulling up Google Maps? Like,
you're right. Let me not make that
Amsterdam.
But like Amsterdam is like, I can't even like. It's down below. It's kind of west, just lower. A lot for 2.5 hours, 3 hours away from me.
Basically. It's like southwest.
Yeah, like southwest.
Yeah.
So like basically just on opposite ends of me, but not too opposite, but still. Mm-hmm. So I was going back. I go to school also even more in the north. So I was going back and forth from Amsterdam to Leeuwarden to basically all over the damn Netherlands. And it was not a fun time. I cannot explain how far behind in work I am from school because of that. But gotta see my family though, so that's what matters. I started my master's. I have no excuse because I actually love it. It's way less ghetto than my bachelor's, but
that's actually really different.
Yeah.
Everybody go do their master's and then like don't go grad school. And then you just hear like, no, go grad school, it's fun. Grad school is fun.
I mean, honestly, if you had a good experience in your undergrad, don't go grad. For me, it's like I need to redeem myself. You feel me? Because my undergrad was a little, you know what I mean? But like my grad, I'm like, okay, if anything go wrong, it really is my fault because I actually enjoy this study. You know what I mean? I enjoy my undergrad, but grad is actually something that's the environment is better too, basically. But yeah, I wish I could go into detail about like how chaotic it was, but to be honest, there were so many chaotic events that happened in the past month to 3 weeks that I just can't even tell you. All I could tell you is I am a changed woman. I now believe in retrograde, and I pray that nobody has to experience a retrograde in their sign because it's just 2 out of 10 would not recommend. But
she said she's a changed woman. You would swear you went through like baptism or something. Like
I feel like I felt like the opposite of that. You feel me? It wasn't even like it was like, listen, I can't even explain. I just 2 out of 10 would not recommend. But it's over. We on to the next. Wait, no, I lying. I was about to say Christmas, but I have to say Halloween coming. Then Christmas coming, that's something to look forward to.
When you skip Thanksgiving, like I am not.
I'm so sorry.
I don't even say. I just take the day off and eat food.
Mood though.
And
I hope you eat good on that day too.
I hope so too.
Let me tell you,
I gotta cook for myself.
But you cook good. To this day, I still dream about you.
Yeah, but like, it's okay to cook good food, but then like sometimes you just be like, I want somebody else to cook for me.
No, I feel that.
That's why I was so happy that I went home last Christmas because, I say that I had to cook. Well, I had to cook most of the vacation. Let me put it like that. Christmas, my mother say, you're making the macaroni. And I say, fine. And then she goes, also, I see you try to make this sweet potato souffle thing. Not my phone making noise, are you? Let me put my phone on silent. It was like, yeah, you used to make that sweet potato thing, right? I was like, yeah. She said, you also making that? I'm like, oh, okay. And they go, you also making dessert? I was like, I thought I was on vacation. What is happening?
Dead.
I was in the kitchen. I was in the kitchen Christmas. Let me just put it like that. I was in the kitchen.
Listen, I can't blame them. I just still dream about your food. Like, I remember specifically the last day I had your scallop potato. You know how serious I gotta be for me to remember the last day? It was literally in high school, Kamilah. I passed my bachelor's and I remember the last day in high school when I had your scallop. It's that serious. So I can't blame nobody when they tell you to cook. But you know what? If for this Thanksgiving, you just gotta hit up a family. I know there's gonna be somebody that got some type of something going on, and you could just be like, listen, I put it on.
The thing is, I don't trust everybody's food.
See that? I understand. That I ain't even got a rebuttal for that because I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It be like that though. It be like that. Yeah. And then I just feel like since high school, you graduated high school 5 years ago.
God. Half a decade ago now.
December gonna make it 5 years since official graduation.
And even longer since we actually passed.
In school. So that was June.
We old now. We kind of old.
Why? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand.
I trying to understand how this happened so fast. Because last time, I still feel like I'm freaking 17. Like, nobody told me, well, maybe not 17. I got a lot more responsibilities. But nobody told me that you don't feel older when you get older. I needed somebody to inform me about that because I thought by now I would have everything, I would have adult mind and everything would be, in order. No.
Still childish. I still feel it. Like, I literally walk around my office and then just start twirling in a circle. Like, who am I, 5? Like, what? What?
Yeah, I feel you.
No, it's so bad. And the crazy thing about it is, like, okay, we adults, but, like, we're adults in school. What gonna happen when we finish school? I'm not ready for that next step. I'm not ready to be, like, an adult.
Why do you think I do a master's?
Why do you think I can do a PhD? Look.
Listen, the way I could delay that working for the rest of my life, I delay it as much as I can. Listen, if I gotta deal with a broke student life, I gotta deal with a broke student life. But to have to work for the rest of my life is a concept that's very hard to grasp right now.
Like, the crazy thing is, it's not like we're not working, but it's like, you're working because you're going to school. Like, like you're doing that life experience. What can happen when you don't have to go to school, Pat? Like, what do you do with that extra time in the day when you don't have to stress about writing a paper 5 minutes before it's due? Like, what do you do?
Honestly.
Is this for like Pilates or something? Like, I don't know.
This is where the people start picking up hobbies. Like, is that the part where you have find time for them things? Like, how do you even like figure out what you like? You know what I mean? Like, because I don't even have time for nothing besides school now. And I remember back in high school, I was doing like art and stuff like that, like living it up. But I swear, if I go back into them things, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do it. You know what I mean?
Like, I feel like you still could draw. I feel like there's a difference because say me, for example, I say, what if I go back into dance? My body cannot move like how it used to. Okay, like my joints just don't walk. You're just not gonna walk like.
How you gonna know that until you try? Feel me?
I did Miss Black and Gold, and I was out of breath every dance number. Like, it took me 20 tries.
But who won? But who won?
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
I don't. You being too loud. This is a public thing. Also, remember I was checking my grade?
Mm-hmm.
So I got 84, which is not bad because the paper was due this Tuesday at 9:30. You know when I turn in that paper? You know when I start that paper? Tuesday at 7:45.
That's a skill right there.
He said the paper would have more spaces for answers if the questions were removed from the text. I thought he wanted the questions and then the answers, but it's okay. The first answer is nicely detailed, while the last 2 answers are more brief. The tone of the paper is nicely professional.
We love to see it. That's how you know you're good at your study. Ain't even gotta put in the extra time, could do it in a couple hours and still get an 84. Talk to her nice.
Talk to me nice.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me nice. But no, I have a whole bunch of assignments I need to do by so it's gonna be okay. It'll be alright. We'll be alright with it.
Typical uni stuff.
Typical.
Survive.
You work hard all week. The weekend you stare at the roof because your brain doesn't make sense, and then you do everything last minute to the weekend.
Exactly. Contemplate life for a little bit. Wonder why you did this. Why you put yourself through this every time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do it, and then you pass good, and you're like, that's why I just do it, because I know I'm going to pass.
I have life advice. Never become a political science major. And never do anything with sociology either. It's so much reading. And it's not even fun reading because it's just I'm taking a civil liberties class and we focus a lot on court cases. Bruh. You know how people be judges are the smartest people or whatever because they know law and blah, blah, blah. That's a lie. That's the biggest lie in my entire life. Everyone has lied to me because I be reading these people words and I just what are you saying? You're not making any sense. Any sense. They be we dissent with the ruling of making abortion legal because the founding fathers didn't specifically say that the autonomy to a body was a part of freedom of life. They just be saying words. And I be and this is the thing that stressed me about the US. Not me ranting about school, but this is the thing that stressed me about the US Constitution. Must a 50 white old man write this thing? How you know what they were thinking in 1770, whatever? I'm not from here. I don't need to know the date. I was free. Oh, free? That's the right word? I don't like the word free. Anyways, from England. But I don't know. It stresses me out. I don't know.
Nah, I feel you. It starts to sound like, when you write in a paper and you're just trying to sound smart and you just start saying a lot of big words to make yourself sound smart, but then you just end up sounding worse. It's given that.
I too can be a Supreme Court justice. If that's all you need to do. Just write words on paper.
Oh my gosh.
I just don't understand. That was just so don't become a political science major. And then it's you could look into Dutch law. Have you ever read the Constitution? Well, I don't think you read the Constitution. Have you read the whole Constitution? No. Mm-hmm.
No. When it comes to politics, I just come to you. I'm just Kamilah.
I don't even know what happened in myself. Every day you just get worse and worse. And I just And then everybody up here hey, you the next prime minister. And I was like, mm-mm.
I swear, I've been bullying you for years, but at the same time, it's I can't even blame you.
Yeah, you're a part of the problem too. Everybody is a part of the problem, and I need you guys to stop.
Listen, I give up. I tried for so long, and you just said, absolutely not, Tori. I'm you know what? Fine. I'm gonna give it a few more years. Maybe. Eventually, you'll be all right. I feel like you're the only hope. I gotta see. You all I have hope in. I ain't gonna lie. But you just no. You just.
What if I want to live my life dream and marry an NBA player and just do philanthropy work for the rest of my life?
Yo, honestly, I'm gonna be real. Hell yeah, I will. That's the first step. Okay. First of all, listen. That is the number one dream life I want for you. If you don't, if you get that, me ain't even gonna question you now. I gonna be there so you're sitting outside front seat. I gonna see you on TV. Okay. That's exactly what it's gonna be. This the thing I talking about is plan B. You feel me? That's plan B. But plan A will always be that. Okay? And I'm gonna need you to find me one too. You feel me? Just when you get in, holler at me and tell me what's good. You don't know.
Yo. Yo, I gotta find you like the extra tall ones.
You feel me? Like, I mean, it's fine, but you know, I feel like if you like 6'7", I just might actually let a lot more slide. You know what I mean? Like, you know. Yeah, you know what? When you're like 6'3", I'd be like, you like a little bit taller than me. You know, I could answer back. But when they're like 6'7", I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay.
Have you ever stand next to like a 7-footer, like in real life?
I wish. Well, actually, I shouldn't talk. I'm in the Netherlands. I know. I've stood next to like 6'7", 6'8", but never a 7-footer.
It's scary, dog. Well, like okay.
For me, I feel like I like it.
We like a good 3-4 inches in height. It's not that bad.
No, because you 5'8", right?
I like 5'8", 5'9" on a good day.
5'8", 5'9", and I 6 foot. So it's like, yeah, it's like 4 inches.
Yeah, so that ain't too too bad, right? So I think growing up with growing up like we know each other for 20 years. Going to school, even high school. We know each other about a good 8. Oh gosh. Never mind. I'm not gonna say how long that was.
Now it's us hitting the 10-year mark soon.
No, dog, for true. Because we started school 2011. It would have been 10 years since we started high school, by the way. But like we always been cool, but we haven't been like cool since third form. Which was like 2013.
13, yeah. Nah.
Anyway, moving on. Back to my explanation. So being friends with you for a good while. Standing next to somebody that's like 6 would never like dramatic. And then plus a good bit of people in our year were like, we went to school, we were kind of roughly your height, a little taller. Like a couple of girls were like a little taller, a little shorter. Like everybody were roughly around that like 6 mark, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Cool. So when like the point guards, like you walk around campus and you see the point guards, some of them even shorter than you. Like I met some people on our team that were like the same height as me, and I was like, "You're doing too much. Like, go up a little bit." Like bro. So like seeing them like 6'1", 6'2", ain't too bad. It's just like that's like a height, cool. Tori, the first time in my entire life, like seeing the 6'4s, the 6'5s, I was like, okay, y'all kind of up there, but I was just like, vibing with it. I was like, this okay. 6'6", I was just a little ooh. I can't tell you nothing because you're gonna kick me to the ground. 6'7", I was just like, still can't really tell you nothing. You might kick me on the ground. 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 6'7". I don't tell nobody nothing. Because the first time I stand next to somebody, freshman year, I remember this so clearly. Freshman year, I was in the dining hall. On the phone with my mommy, I was getting fries and nuggets in the dining hall because that was the only good food. The food was okay. In the dining hall, on the phone, freshman year, I get my nuggets. I'd like put it on my fries, and I just feel like a presence next to me. Like, like when you feel like something next to you, it was just like a hefty presence. You know what I mean? And I like was confused for a second. I was like, somebody coming for me, like somebody trying to help me. Mind you, this person just trying to get their fries and nuggets as well. And I turned my head and I jumped because I didn't see her face. Let us put this in context. I am not shocked. So if I turn and I don't see her face, all I saw was like the lower part of this man's arm, and I was just like,
nah.
He was solid 200 and something. So he was a big fella. And I do so, and I look up and I jump, and he laughed, and I was just like, and I like walk away saying, "Mommy, I see this man in real life for the first time. This is scary." I was just like, ah. what?
Yeah, that's something I would love to experience.
It's just so wide, like, and then the next one, the actual 7-footer was walking past me campus, and we have this part in our student center where we have like natural sunlight coming in, we bougie or whatever. I walk in there texting and the sunlight was blocked. Okay, this man passed me, he blocked me by sunlight. I say, I don't know, 6 foot, but that's a different type of.
That's a whole new world right there.
That's a whole, like, you see things differently from up there. Everything has to look like the air have to be different up there. Like, I feel like it's harder to breathe being so high up because it's
I wonder how everybody just look from that height. You know what I mean? Because you're looking down at everybody.
They gotta look like ants,
you know. And like, you imagine somebody hell mess up and you could just see that plain in sight now. Like, that's my fear. When somebody is taller than me, like if, for example, like my part's ugly on the top of my head, right? It don't matter. Nobody gonna see it. You know what I mean? But them tall people, right? They gonna see that. And I don't like that. That's why I like being the tall one. Like being in the Netherlands, I do see a lot of tall people, but like they're like 6'4". You know what I mean? That's where they're like capped at. You know, I feel like everybody just averagely my height. So it's just like we're all in unison here.
Together, yeah. I think Dutchman kind of tall for true.
Yeah, like they're all really tall. But it's like it's not tall to the extent like 7 foot, you know. So I just feel like a normal person. Like we all like our height is all normal. Like you walk in the streets, you don't even remember you tall. You're just like, oh, whatever. Like when people tell me I'm tall here, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. Like, and in Samaritan, I get that every day when I'm there. It's just like, oh my God, why are you giant? And I'm like, I understand. But here, I'm like, no. This is the place where you don't get to tell me I'm tall, okay? I'm average. I'm average.
And my favorite thing about it, like, especially now you get colder, I like to wear boots. So, you know, my boots got like healing thing about it. So there's like some solid days where I'm like a good 6'6'1". And it's so much fun. It's so much fun. All my friends are like 5'6". So it's just like so much fun. Just so much fun just walking around. And then you run into these people on campus because school's so small. So you will run into these basketball players. And they just up there, you like.
See, that's the one thing I wish that we had in the Netherlands, like basketball teams and things like that. We ain't got them type of things. Well, maybe in some schools, I don't know much about the school system here. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I just go to it. You know what I mean? But like,
you know that one just man that studied gym. You know what? Let me stop. That was very petty. I'm going to stop my sentence.
Yo, I can't. Now they do have like teams, but I'm like, I don't think they're connected to schools. You know what I mean? Maybe they are. I don't even know, but all I know is where I study, they do have studies of like gym and things like that, but it's in a whole different building. I ain't get to see those people, you know what I mean? It's just like a whole different world.
That's true. No, I think that's a difference a lot between like the European systems and like the American systems. Like in the European system, you like, this is your one building you go to for school, go there, and then leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, but here they have you like half of my classes in the chemistry building. What? Like, okay. Like I in the chemistry building twice a week.
I'm dead.
If you say so. And so like you all over the place. And then we only have like 16,000 people here. So it's easy. But you got 16,000 people and 800 of them is Black people. You're going to see people often. You're going to see. Like I get shocked when I see a new Black person on campus. I'll be like, oh my gosh, I never seen you before. I'll be like, there's more of us. I just be like, oh,
I did. But I understand that because like in Europe, we all know what Europe is like too. So it's like, like I find though like the American system is way nicer in that sense, but obviously I'm just an outsider looking in. And the fact that like you could create more of a community there because it's not just that you go to school and you leave. Like for us, it's like, boy, you enter that classroom, you see your classmates, that's really all you see. You in and out. You know what I mean? You going home to a different city, or sometimes like it's never like a campus really. You know what I mean? It's just like classes and that's it. like I feel like you could create. There's different like because for example, like you have different, what are those things called? Jesus, how am I a bachelor student? I don't even know the word. Community, it's not communities, but like different programs that you could like sign yourself up to in America, like within colleges.
Or like you have like a lot of student groups or like activities or like stuff like that.
Exactly. And here it's just like it's not as much of a thing. It's just like, boy, you better hope you make your friends at a pub or something. And if you don't drink, boy, good luck. Good luck, Charlie.
Now you have to drink to make friends. Like, oh my God.
Listen, let me tell you something. I met a person and I told them I don't drink or smoke, and they told me we're not gonna get along. That's how severe it is in this country, dog. Like, I'm telling you, like the biggest way for you to make friends here, from my experience, obviously this is just my experience, is like going to pubs and like for example, if you smoke and you go outside with your classmates to smoke together, those are the type of ways you make connections in this country.
That is weird. So meanwhile, how have I made friends? I don't even know how I make friends. That's so weird. It's just like one day I see somebody, we had a conversation, and then now 3 years later, like we just talk. A lot of it stems from class though. Like just talking like in class, and then you just see them after class outside. And then you add them on Snapchat, and then you just, I don't know, translate from there, honestly. Like I know, like two of my closest friends, we become friends because we wanted somebody to go basketball games with each other. That how it really started for true. Like, oh, we need to go games with people, and then that's how it go. And then next time, me and so for example, Richard, my president, we bonded because we were both foreigners in our American politics class. She was like, I'm from Pakistan, you from St. Martin. We both not from here, like we vibe. And that's how we
honestly, vibe. Same way.
Now we running the student government. Like what? That doesn't make sense to me.
But we love that. You see that's a good storyline. You know, you meet somebody and say, now we big and broad in these streets, all right? You feel me?
Big and broad.
Like I feel like that's a way that a lot of students in general, like for example, I feel like in a place like for example where we go to school, make friends. Because in my class, like it was mostly just Europeans, and the one non-European girl, me and her look at each other, we like, you're not European? I'm not European. Besties for life. I was just saying, we were like, all right, say less. It's like, do you want to form a life with me?
We're like, oh, you two were colonized. What's up? Hi. What are you doing?
It's just like, what's good? Now we friends. Yes.
Ooh, it's hilarious. It's wow. What a time to be alive.
You know? I can't believe we're this old though. Like, it's just you about to graduate. It's crazy.
You know the crazy thing? I started late too. So
I mean, I wouldn't say it started late. Cause well,
I don't know how it would have been as a student. I don't know how it would have been like 2021.
Yeah, but I don't know, like the people that went straight from high school to
like college, we finished school like 17, and then I went straight. I couldn't do that. First of all, you can't do nothing in university when you're 17.
That's a fact.
Like you gotta have chaperones until you turn 18. Like that's not a vibe. Oh, no. What? No.
I just feel like, I don't know, being that young and then moving to a whole foreign country, I give people props, but I had to brace for a year because I mean, okay, I ain't gonna lie, I still was 17 when I moved here, but I was almost 18. You know what I mean? So it was like
there's a difference. There's a difference being like, cause we born late in the year.
Yeah.
So we would have been like 16 or 17.
Yeah, like freshly
going 18. Like But come on, I make 19. I tell people I make 19. They watch me like I'm crazy. They were like, "You old?" I'm like, "I am a year older than you guys. Relax." What? What? But then no, it got a whole bunch of freshmen on campus thing. Like, you reach the age where you're the upperclassmen now. And then people be like, "Yeah, I 18," and I'd be like, "Okay, yeah." But then I paused to myself. You know who also 18? My brothers.
Oh shoot.
And then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that means you're a child." And I'm just like, "Oh my, what?" I was like, "That means you born 2003?" And I was just like,
"Oh, that's still a wild concept for me to understand." You know, like the 2000 babies being in like their 20s. I'm just like, nah. In a way.
Like, what are we doing? Why time fly by? Like, like when you used to say like 30 years ago, whatever, you were thinking like the 70s or 80s. You know the 90s or 30 years ago, right?
No. You know what also made me realize that it's starting to get to the point where we old. The whole Y2K trend. I'm like, so the early 2000s is becoming, like how there was the 90s trend. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Our childhood is becoming a trend.
Yeah. It's becoming for the younger kids like a old aesthetic.
They having early 2000 days in high school. What?
Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, you cannot.
Meanwhile, we here in college, us seniors in college, like, we should do 70s days, and then the new ones coming in, like, we should do 2000 days, and I'm just like, what?
I'm like, excuse me? Like, you mean my childhood? Like, we're not that old. Like,
concept of time doesn't make sense. This has low-key come into a life crisis on how time doesn't make sense.
Literally. Basically, this entire podcast is just having an adult life crisis, a quarter life crisis. We ain't even hit quarter life yet.
Right? Like, we ain't even at 25 yet. Whew, 20. Where do you see yourself at age 25?
Where do I see myself?
Mm-hmm. So that's what, in the next 3 years?
Damn. I thought I had longer. Honestly, in the next I see myself pretty basic. I ain't gonna lie. Like, probably working for a corporation that makes me big bank. Because my goal for the next couple of years is just living kind of below my means, saving up so that I can really live lavish in my 30s. Honestly, like that's the real goal. Because I realize I can't be rushing life and being like, in my 20s I'm gonna be a rich girl. If I was a rich girl, like, no, it's just you know what I mean. Like, it's just I gotta humbly accept the fact that money don't just fly out of my ass, so I just gonna have to work it out the regular person way. So yeah, honestly, whatever I do, and it better make me happy. That's all I care about. And when I come out to this degree stuff, any job I have, anything I do in life, as long as I'm happy, it don't matter. I will 100% be single, so because I know that.
This is a public announcement to know that Tori will be single, but she does not want to mingle with you. Leave her alone.
Yes, like, if anybody that's friends with me knows, like, Tori is not the person that you will ever see in a relationship.
Tori hate men.
Yeah, I mean,
that she had tweet a quote with no context, and the entire Twitter was trying to figure out if Tori was okay because what a quote, something about you like.
So listen, this was my bad, right? Because honestly, I quoted this because I'm a person, I would tweet anything that's on my mind. It don't matter what it is. It don't matter if it makes sense. I will just tweet it because my Twitter is my little diary, And so I tweeted, I love men. I think men are the coolest. And that is a quote from Cher. And I did not tweet the full thing, but what she fully says is, but you don't need them to live. And then she basically said, like, my experience with men is great because I don't need them, I want them. And yeah, like, she's basically called herself a rich man. Okay, let's I don't remember it word for word, but that's basically what it is. But I didn't tweet the whole thing. I was just like, oh, I remember that quote, I love that quote. Tweets it, and then I just was off my phone. Like, and the thing is, my Twitter notifications, like all my social media notifications, are off, so I don't get no notifications on my phone. They're vibing. I don't remember what I was doing that day, but I wasn't on my phone. Then I come I check my Twitter, I just see a bunch of like comments under it. Yo, you get hacked? Are you okay? Is this a cry for help? What is going on? I'm like, oh.
I saw the tweet, and then I saw somewhere like Tori has been hacked, and I was just like, no, this doesn't make sense. And so I replied to it, and I was like, bro, you okay? Answer me. And then I proceeded to go on WhatsApp, and I like went in her chat in all caps, like, dog, you good? Like everything all right? Like, are you okay? Tori, don't say these things. Yo, yeah, everyone did freak out. That was hilarious.
I swear, like, and it really made me realize, I'm like, damn, I really do be talking down on these men, but it's like, if you gotta be that way, but no, for real, honestly, if I ever tweet something like that again, just know I'm probably kidnapped or something, because I would never, honestly. If you ever see me being voluntarily nice to men, some suspicious going on, like something sus is going on.
Or you could actually fall in love. She laughing and they serious. One of us have to do it, and I think you.
Yeah, and that will be the Virgo, not the Libra. No, ma'am. It will very much be you. Yeah. Remember, you're gonna be the NBA wife, okay? You won't.
Yeah, but that don't mean I can be in love.
Wait. So you're just going to go get married and just be like, I ain't really in love though.
Like, I will support. Like, I'll be like, hey,
miss.
I don't know what let me stop before people say
yeah, like honestly, like don't take us seriously now. I don't actually hate men. I just did a on me, that's all. Gotta keep it before because I don't have enough men attack me for saying I hate men. So let me hold it down. Let me hold it down. But
this is funny. You know when you were like earlier, you were like you're a Libra sun and rising, and I was just like, sun. I'm a Virgo moon, and I'm a Virgo rising.
You lie. You serious? No wonder
this is why I have life issues right now.
Your big three is Virgo. All Virgo. Nah, that's crazy to me. That's actually really cool. But it makes sense because you have every aspect of Virgo in you. Like, you know how some Virgos, they be like, yeah, I'm not really, like I have this aspect of Virgo in me, but I don't have this aspect. Nah, Kamilah got a full round. If you think of Virgo, think of Kamilah. Honestly. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Problematic. It's problematic.
No, but we love it because I love Virgos. Virgos is like my favorite sign. Like,
I can tell Neon you love me more than her.
I love all my earth signs.
She can listen to this and cuss me out.
I love all my earth signs. Like I'm a earth sign lover. I may be an air sign, but I'm an earth sign lover. Like y'all so opposite from me, but at the same time we click. So it's like
it works well. It works very well. I love that. People are gonna be listening to this like, oh my god, what is wrong with these astrology?
Yeah, I said I'm gonna be like, these astrology bitches, man.
The crazy thing is we're not even that deep into it. It just sounds fun to talk about it.
Literally, I barely know anything, but I just be having fun with it. I'm just like, it's because of this. It's because the sun is in the whatever. Like when I be seeing the the actual people that know about astrology like tweet about it and stuff, I'm like, it's just interesting, honestly.
It's really interesting because it's just like, this is how people perceive the world.
Exactly.
We were talking about a 3-year plan. How would we reach down to this?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be having a good job.
Yeah, hopefully having a good job and
happy.
That's all I care about, honestly. Oh, and making sure that like I'm making enough to help my family. That's all I want. But like at the same time, I will also probably want to make more because I don't know if the job I have will be able to provide for my family on top of that. But we're going to find out in the future. But what's your plan?
I'll still be in grad school because let's see. If everything goes well, I would start grad school next fall. And program will be 4 years. So I'll be, in grad school, hopefully writing my dissertation. I can tell you from advance, I'll be stressed, but it'll be a good stress because I want to write my dissertation around the Dutch Caribbean, and you know we ain't got nothing in that. We ain't got no information. So I can be on everybody flow. I can be in St. Martin flow. I can be in Curacao, River Bonilla. Here's the thing. I don't know how I can function doing research in the Papillon countries because I can't speak a lick of Dutch. And I for sure can't speak a lick of Papillon. So I can be down there just like bon dia.
No, but that's gonna be actually really cool though. Like I can imagine just seeing like your name on a like actual like document that I can find online, and it gonna be like Dr. Gumbs. You gonna see Gumbs et al. You know what I mean? What would catch me citing you and ting? Like, listen, the official. You feel me? Like,
oh. I am so weak. It's going to name Why We Hate Colonizers. I like that's not gonna be the name of it. I don't know. Let me stop people to take away my passport. I ain't got no other passport to claim.
Yo, but no,
that ain't true. I got other passports to claim. I don't know. I like my Dutch passport.
I mean, yeah, as much as
couple things. The Dutch did good. The passport, Gouda, and stroopwafels.
Yeah, and poffertjes.
I don't know poffertjes, but okay.
So you gotta try them, dog. Like ever since I've had them, I'm like, you did that. I'll give you that. Like you done a lot of dirt, but the passport and them little foods you made, I gotta give you it a little bit.
It's not real culinary foods now, because Dutch food nasty. But like
no. You don't come to the Netherlands for the cuisine.
You come for the marijuana. That's where you go to the Netherlands. Yeah.
That's what most people come from.
You say you want to go on vacation in Holland. You go in for weed and
drugs. Any other drugs, to be honest. Because they are more acceptable.
Rotterdam Port has been in the news a lot lately.
Now, honestly, like when you go to even when you go to Amsterdam and you walk in the streets, like I've been seeing videos of like people interviewing tourists and they ask them like, why'd you come to the Netherlands? And they're just like, drugs, weed, smoke. And I'm like, at least you're honest. You came here with one agenda and you stand by it.
You know what? History. If you're a history nerd, you can go to the Netherlands. The Netherlands has an interesting history. Does most of it include slavery? Yes. But while they were just shipping slaves all around, they were still being very innovative in printing. And they got that money from shipping slaves all around. So it's just like, it's like a full circle. It's just like a full circle.
When you walk around,
I want to study this part of the Netherlands history. And you're like, I wonder how they fund this.
There's your answer.
Colonialism.
Yep. 100%.
Genocide in Indonesia and slavery in the Western world. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But
you'll definitely see the rich history. They got all the old buildings here, and the minute you walk in and you wonder how they got these old buildings still here, that's the answer. That's the answer.
Oh, South Park. That one South Park.
Speaking of which, I had this conversation with somebody and they told me they were speaking to someone about St. Martin, and they had the nerve to say, and this triggered me so bad. They was like, oh yeah, the Netherlands only does favors for St. Martin. They help St. Martin throughout everything. And that I say, I know you like. So you think the Netherlands came to St. Martin with no one to just to help, for charity work, for vibes. I said that. I say, please tell me I'm not hearing what I'm hearing right now. Like we didn't have the cell phone. Like they just came to St. Martin for vibes.
For vibes. Pure vibes.
For vibes. Listen, I never heard such ignorance.
A man lost a leg on Fort Amsterdam for vibes.
For vibes?
For vibes.
For vibes.
For the man, I don't even care about the man name. I remember we had learned that in primary school, and I was like, "Aw, poor thing." But then I was just like, "Wait, no, that don't make sense."
Yo, this is what I mean though. Like, I feel like a lot of people. Hold on, my laptop dying, but we working. I feel like a lot of people don't know about the history of their island, because this is from a Samaritan person now. Like, this ain't even like a Dutch person saying this. This is a Samaritan person.
Text me their name. Text me their name.
I gotta tell you.
Text it to me now. Text it to me now, so I can be dramatic.
Okay, but I don't think you know the person. That's the thing. But I gonna send it.
It's a lot of people I don't know, so.
But I gonna explain. But yeah, when I
they sound problematic. I don't know who, but it's the name alone. Anybody with those last 3 letters in their name sound problematic. Think about it. Think about it, Hat.
Right. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Yo, I can't. But yeah, like when I heard that, and the thing is, I don't know the person personally, but this person knows the person personally. So it's kind of like they told me the story, and I'm like, there ain't no way. Like, I thought all of us was, educated on these things, but I realized there's a lot of, and I say ignorance because I feel like I don't wanna be too mean about it. So I'm just gonna say they don't know the history, but I'm also like, how do you sit there and think that it was charity work? How? Like,
question, they like, what's the right word? How to put it? Are they like St. Peter, Cul-de-Sac, Cahill, Dutch Water, those areas in Martin, or are they like Kupakoi, Rice Hill, Simat?
No, like I think they're not. I think they are like, I don't know where they live specifically, but I know they're not in the bougie areas. But I think a part of it is they're not from St. Martin directly, so they came when they was like 7 or something. So I feel like they just don't understand the history of St. Martin, and that must be it. Because I'm like, when I talk to my grandfather or not my grandfather passed away, my great grandfather, never a conversation about how we was helped and they were so grateful for the colonizers. Like who sits there and says that? Who says that?
That's the matter was literally abandoned until everybody fade Claude. I need to stop saying that. This is probably like the 3rd episode that I don't like Claude. But may his soul rest in peace. But until he like, oh yeah, we could do this tourism thing. The Dutch didn't care about Manhattan.
Yeah.
After the South One closed, they didn't care about Manhattan.
Facts. Like I really need to.
The government building had burned down in 1970. Anyways, so that's interesting. But then that really just translates to how much more education efforts that needs to be done. Like,
yeah, it also made me realize I was like.
And even outside of school, I mean, like, okay, mind you, a lot of people ain't gonna really put in so much effort to learn outside of school. But, like, within school at least, like, have something that's, like, I guess, like, we get lucky if we go to a CXC school. You at least you get to know a little bit more about, like, the region and stuff, which is better than just not knowing anything. But if you go like NPC and things, they just know about the Dutch, man. They just know European history, European social studies and stuff they're doing. Well, okay. I know NPC got an English stream now, which again, what are we doing in our education system? NPC don't need more training in that place. That place is hot. You remember that? Okay, I gotta go back to that rant after I finish this thought. But yeah, so like I feel like if we put more we need to put more emphasis on stuff in that. And I feel like people been saying it for so long, but like nobody actually done it. And if I have to come to a point where I actually have to do it, I can be upset.
I'm saying
no, we're not going back to this again. Okay. Not going back to this again.
I believe it. But that's the thing, like that's one thing that when I heard like that, and honestly, it's not like the first time I've heard this statement being said, so I really realized like there's just an ignorance, and I don't mean ignorance in a bad way. I mean as in there's literally just lack of knowledge being communicated to these younger people or these older people, or people that just come to St. Martin because, like I would expect it from somebody that's born and raised in the Netherlands to say something like that, like, oh yeah like because that's just how they feed that to their people, you know. It's just like, we're helpers, we don't benefit from this, you know, like that's just what they do. But when people like that are raised in St. Martin, maybe not born, but raised in St. Martin, like have the same sentiment, I'm like, what do you mean?
You can't be saying island girl, and you have
you can't just reap the benefits of the aesthetic and then not understand the history, you know, like it just, the math not working.
But back to my rant about how hot MPC is. Remember when we were doing oh my god, that Dutch village thing?
Oh yeah, I forget what.
And they were like, we were doing it with partnership. I think we went academy too. We were doing a partnership with the 3 schools there at LP Scott Road. I feel like we should have a nickname for those 3 schools. But anyways, because why we just dominate LP Scott Road. But we had to go to those 3 schools. It was between Academy, St. Dominic, and MPC. And it was our day to go MPC. And we were like, oh, okay, right on the road. We walk in and we stand up there in the middle of school. 1, it feel like a jail. 2, it was just hot. Like, it was just hot. Like, I remember just standing up there, humid, and I was just like, but it was like a cool day in general. So we like, okay, we up in St. Dominic and we feeling nice. We come down the road, barely down the road, and we don't get sweating. And then I realized it's only because they have 2 trees in the entire courtyard. And then and we
used to complain about heat in St. Dominic, but that right there,
that was different. But then we have to realize St. Dominic also like a jungle. So like
facts.
And we got a star fruit tree.
Yeah, boy.
Something with a star fruit tree. You know Mr. Singh Don?
You lie.
Yes, Mr. Singh don't work in Dominic no more. I think the only people still there is Mr. G.
Mr. of all people, Mr. You know.
Garfield is the only one that's still there. I think.
I love him though.
And I think Mr. Max still there. Miss S. Like the teacher is still there. But a good bit of administration leave. Belky's gone. Belky's gone? Yeah. I remember Belkis was telling me to leave St. Martin. She said, what are you doing? I like, I taking a year off and then I going to school. She said, good, leave. I have nothing here, leave. Go.
Belkis was always a mood. She would always complain about St. Dominic. She was not feeling.
Belkis was not. She was just there to get the little check they were giving her. She was just like, I remember life.
Whenever she would be like, tell us to like come inside the canteen and like run it for her. She'd be gone for a minute. She'd be like, BRB, I'm out.
Keys was not with it. Look.
Not with it.
Then cook waffles and then cup noodles after school. Belkis were real with it.
Yeah, she was real. We had some good teachers.
Yeah, man. The school itself is just...
Yeah, like I know for a fact once they got rid of us, it changed a lot. So the perception before our year, the year before us, and maybe the year before them. Not really so much the year before them, but definitely our year. So our year and then my cousin and your brother year. Yeah.
2 years. Mash up the whole identity of St. Dominic. Yeah. School like, oh, this is the Indian school, or if you're not Indian, you like stuck up and bougie and this and that. Like this is where it's like you rich, but you don't want to pay all the money to go private school.
Yeah.
It's like where the rich stuck up children. It's like where the rich stuck up children go for public education. That's like the vibes St. Dominic was giving.
Mm-hmm.
We show up, we say, we from the road. Man, they never accepted so much Cahill and St. Peter's man in the entire life. They did not know how to act. Like they had no idea how to react. Like we were loud. Mm-hmm. I would give it to us. We were loud. Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'll never forget. I knew it was bad when our math teacher, she was new. She came, and this was first farm. We wasn't even that bad in first farm, man. And okay, we were. But
You were
anyways,
bad in first farm. You know, but you were in 1C.
yeah, but no, I wasn't. I was in
In fourth
1B.
farm?
Yeah, first farm. It went third farm and onwards. I was in 3C, 4C, 5C.
Oh, okay.
I think I was in.
You were okay.
Yeah, 1B. So like we weren't like we was the in between class. 1C was still the like
The quiet class.
Yeah.
Was it
So we did math class and thing. And throughout the whole year we gave her hell, I guess. I mean, I don't think it was that bad, but so she used to go work in a juvenile school in America, apparently. Like and she was explaining like towards the end of the year when she finished, she said like we were worse and she would rather go back to the juvenile school. And I was just like, well, damn, I think it was that bad. Like, I mean, what do we really even do? What do we really even do? Like, but then again,
that's my only explanation. I feel like a lot of the problems that happened within our year could have been fixed if they would like, we're going to put you guys in therapy. I feel like so much of our problems would have been fixed if they just like carried us to a therapist. Like we needed it was just like a lot of anger, a lot of just whatever happened from high school just translating into like, I mean, primary school translating into high school. I feel like right? I think if they went punishment from day one. I think if they went by let we actually figure out what the issue is and then fix the issue, then the punishment route, we would have been better. But they were like, oh, are you loud? Detention. Oh, are you loud? We're going to call the principal up to your office to tell you something. Oh, are you loud? No gym. Like, it was just like, what?
Yeah, and then like the further the years went in, the less we cared because we're like, oh, you wanna.
It's like, oh, you guys punish us? Okay, and?
Exactly, like it reached like that. Like I was obviously the quiet kid, but I just watched from the sidelines. I was like, ooh, ooh, and it, ooh, and it, ooh.
I got in trouble once, and it was for talking in class. And if I was dumb, because everybody was talking in class. But okay, like my name
and to pick on the ones that don't talk as often. The minute you peep something, they'd be like, "Why are you talking?" I'm like, "Babes, look around you. Look around you." Just because I don't talk a lot.
I was in 3A. I was in 1A. They were like, "Okay, we're gonna switch it up." They put me in 2C, and I'm like, "Okay." My 2C class was, it wasn't bad, but like, it wasn't the best. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is when confusion. They throw me in 3A. And I sit down and I was like, the first day of school, I look around my class. Like, 3A? All right. And then they put, are you like in 3B? And I was like, okay.
And not even I was in 3C.
And then like 3C were like, I'm like, 3C ain't gonna have no problems in like,
that's the thing. Like, I feel like my class, like 3C, 4C, 5C, we was very strategic. We kind of labeled ourselves as the innocent class to get away with a lot more things. Like, it worked out, because everybody was focusing on 3A, 3B, and 4 and 5 onwards. And we was just there like, we gonna do the same stuff, just quieter. And nobody gonna know about it because everybody too focused on 3A and 3B.
It was just 3. Like,
it was really
3A. And that was the year everybody the year before us stayed back. So we were just getting all these extra people, and I was just like, so much crazy people in my class.
I remember that.
And like 3A was so bad because I gotta be honest, third farm was not a good year. I did not do good in third farm. Like, they had me on discussion to put me over to fourth farm. And they were like, oh, she's a good child. So they just put me over to fourth farm. Like, what? Okay.
We love that, though.
And then it was just like, I remember this day so bad, so well. So my homeroom teachers in third farm was Lejwe and Garfield. What was happening? Exactly. No, I lie. Was it Lejwe and Garfield? No, I lie. It was Lejwe and Williams. Garfield was my second farm homeroom. And I don't know what Williams was doing, but Leisure was doing report. Me come in class, and I remember this clearly. Leisure tell my mother, especially with the people in her class, Kamilah is doing exceptionally well. And I said, okay, let me take the report card and go.
Yo,
I was like, what?
I cannot.
But our 2 years were also the years with the ridiculous fights, people picking up plywood. Like, it was just a lot.
Entertaining though, but a lot, yeah.
It was entertaining. It was entertaining, but it was just a lot.
Like, I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, as much as like high school was chaotic, I feel like a large part why it was also peaceful for me at the same time was because of the fact that I just stayed in a corner and never spoke for the whole 5 years. I really just sat there like, you would hear like, I feel like people probably heard 5 words from me max in
I think like you talk more like in the smaller classes, like when we had eco and stuff like that. And then like me and you just used to text each other. Like,
yeah, we used to chop it up. Like, it's different when it's like me and one person. I'd be like, you see, I could talk to you because you
we were bad. Like, we were bad. Like,
yeah,
we were kind of bad. It was fine. It was cool. We just
it was fun,
like,
you know.
I just used to be like, something used to happen. I just used to text Tori. I'd be like, Tori.
I'd be like, you lie.
But you see, the good thing, I was like okay, my first 2 years, I gonna be like, I was scared of everybody because I was just like, these people are mean and rude. And then all of them stay back and end up in our class, and I was like, oh, y'all just dumb. Okay. And then they were just not scared of them anymore. But like, I was that person that was just like cool with everybody. I was just chilling. Like, everybody had beef with each other, and I was just there like minding my business, just being cool. And so when we had those like non-homeroom classes, like all the boys that used to sit next to me because I was smart. I don't know who liked them because I was struggling throughout the last 3 years of high school, if we're being completely honest. Many. But between POA and not sociology.
Social studies?
Social studies. Yeah, sociology is a social study, but not, wow. Anyways, between those 2 classes, they used to sit around me all the time. So I used to get all the tea.
Yo, I said no.
And I was just sitting down like, oh, you talking to this girl? No, in my head I was like, you wasn't talking to that other girl. It was just like,
yo.
I was like, all right, my boy. I just used to be like, okay. But one thing though, shout out to Ford Farm and shout out to, I can call his name, shout out to Shosho for giving me my gay awakening in POE.
Yo, Kamilah will talk about this till the day she died. You gotta tell them the story, dog. You got to tell them the story. Shout out to Shosho Ford though.
It was such a good time. Like, it was such a great time. Like, I remember this because we were in room 5. So this was Ford Farm. And we were in room 5, and the room was just yelling about numbers and how we could never balance a budget sheet. Accounting is hard. Don't do accounting ever, okay? It just don't make sense. And then, oh my God, I'm having a bugger.
He did.
Anyways, yeah, so we were sitting on there, I there calculating these numbers and thing, and this man next to me, he turned to me, like unprovoked. This was very unprovoked. And for those who know this, I was very in denial. I was very like, I am the straightest person in the world. I like men. Like, what are you talking about? I like men. Like, it was just denial, straight denial. This was like 15. So even more straight denial, right? Like, I can't like nobody else but men. Like, I gonna go to hell and burn. Like, the church gonna have me at stake. Like, it was just like bad. It was just not good vibes. But I was also like a heavy tomboy. Like, I was one of the most like masculine dressed persons in school. As how masculine you can make a school uniform. That was me. So it was just also confusing. Probably confused everybody, but it's fine. And one day we in class, and this was very unprovoked. Like, unprovoked. The man turned to me, because we were sitting next to each other, and goes, Kamilah going to teach you how to get a girl. And I say, what? Say, yeah, I can teach you how to get a girl. I said, but I don't like girls. I like men. He like, yeah, we're going to teach you how to get a girl. And then he proceeds to give the worst advice ever. Peak, like, high school, like FY area. Like it was that type of advice. It was like you gotta be man and you gotta tell her what you want and she gotta do how you want it, but you gotta be smooth with it. It was just bad advice. Like, a 16-year-old should never give you advice about to get a it was just bad. And that was his peak, like, whole era too. So it was just bad advice all around. But after that day, like, I felt like I was like self-reflecting. I was like, what wrong with this man? Who is man think he beat? But he gonna tell me that I need to pick up a girl. Like, I don't even like girls. And he's like, yeah, later I realized I did. So it was just the opening of a gay awakening. And if I ever write a book, I can write a chapter be like, thank you.
I swear, if you know Kamilah, she will tell you this story because this is really the realization moment. It was like a peak realization moment in her life. I swear to you. Like, I don't even know if he knows that he did this.
I don't even remember that conversation even exists. I don't even remember the conversation ever happened. One of these days I reach out to him. I'd be like, you was my girl weekend. And that make me probably make it sound like I think he probably looked like a girl. That goes sound bad. Never mind.
I did.
But if you listen to this podcast and you know Shosho, send it to Shosho and tell him.
Honestly, I should just send it to him. Be like, listen to this.
I should probably just send it to him too. I follow him.
Literally, just be like,
listen to this.
I know what you did, but you did a good deed. You did a good deed.
To this section here to here. Shout out to them. No, but like I feel like high school got less chaotic as the older we got because we stopped caring about being dramatic and realized that we needed to graduate.
Yeah. And also, like, I feel like even the little dramas that did happen, it was kind of like those teachers were also so done that they kind of just let it slide a lot of the times. It was just like, all right, just leave. They wanted us to leave so bad.
So bad. And then they just revamped the entire university. Lord, I need to go to school. They just revamped the entire high school because they were just like these heathens. And you realize they went full Catholicization during our era too. They're like, it was like, maybe if we impose Jesus on these children, they will get. We got worse.
Yeah, way worse. Way worse. Like, it did more like harm than good. You know how many people I know from St. Dominic that turned out atheists because of St. Dominic? You know how bad it gotta be that a Catholic school makes you turn atheist? Like,
all the time too, though. But like, I said, I feel like it happened all the time, but it's also like, but like we were like the cool Catholic school. We were just Catholic by name. We were just rolling, and then they were like, nope. Assembly.
We go to church every week. I mean, every month we going.
We go to church every month, and you will get right up if you don't show up to church. Even when after Mr. G tell us that it was actually illegal to force us to church. Oh my, can I file a lawsuit to this mommy?
You know, I wonder. Can we get a bird?
St. Dominic, you are so unique. School
I love how we just name dropping all this stuff, but we out of that school for years now. What are they gonna do?
What are they gonna do?
What are they gonna do?
Plus, half the people that cause the stress not even there anymore. So.
And let me tell you, if I really went ham on the things that St. Dominic did, this is the most vanilla of it all, to be honest. Because if we talk about the classism, don't even start it.
We could talk about how when everybody was struggling in class, but they refused to work with the Black children and focus a lot on the non-Black children to make sure that they pass. Ooh. Or we could
That's
talk about, or they could talk about how our time they decided to not have two valedictorians because the valedictorian for the business session would have been a black girl and not an Indian guy. Ooh. Or you could talk about how do you want me to continue? Like I can
listen.
Like I could go like no, that valedictorian thing had pissed me
Yeah.
off. Cause we all knew we were like, okay, these two from our section going to be valedictorian. And then they go like, oh no, we're going to just have one. Of course, it was going to be an Indian panel that win. Like, it was just like, and you know what the crazy thing is? She ended up having more awards than him.
Yep.
Well, let's also talk about the time how our graduation was before the terminus Category 5 Hurricane Irma. But all of our awards was a piece of paper that was printed from the office. And
you could.
And our diploma was given to us. Our diploma was given to us in a dollar store folder.
Yeah. Like you could tell they hated us just by the way they presented our degrees, our little like diplomas to us. Like
but the graduation after Hurricane Irma, the awards were glass.
Yep. They gave us like a diggy pen and they was like, that's it, that's all you're getting.
I said, huh? Because I remember because one of my friends, she had an award from dance. I was like, oh, congratulations. I said, wait, this is a real award? She said, yeah, we all get a real award. I said, y'all didn't get a piece of paper. She said, no. And then she showed me the folder the diploma came in. I was like, oh, this is a real leather folder, not a pink dollar store. This is also after the disastrous Category 5 Hurricane Irma. So I was just confused. Like it was just not making sense to me. I was just like,
the math is not math then.
If you have money after the hurricane destroy a whole country, you definitely had more money the year before that. The economy was thriving. I'm confused. I was so confused.
Mm-hmm. But even the year before that, the year before us had better quality.
Exactly. They literally came for our necks. They said, we hate you guys. You guys are too actually ethnic. You represent too many different factors of this island.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to give you a good send-off.
Yeah, that was exactly what it was. Like they made it violently clear that we was not what we wanted.
And they had this lady showing us a documentary about animals to explain us about life. Like it was just, you remember that?
Yo, yes.
Cause you were sitting in front of me, right? I think so.
Yes, I want to say yes.
I just remember it was just like all of us were sitting on that corner. We were just all watching each other like,
what's happening?
What a graduation.
I swear. I ain't gonna lie, for a lot of it, I was zoned out.
Weren't we all? I was just waiting for my name to get called.
Literally, that was the most fun part.
And then everyone was like, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, okay, thanks, bye.
Right? It was just like, I kind of just,
But I think I know our graduation would have been bad when so much of us didn't actually show up for graduation. I was just like, oh.
It's true.
I would look around the room and I was like, there's a lot of people missing. They were like, no, I'm not coming for graduation.
Yeah, I remember not like Aisha and Nian wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
But they were their ass in the Netherlands, so it's like they couldn't even.
Yeah, they were already in school, but I know they had people.
They
had people who were in St. Martin who didn't go graduation.
But that's another thing that also made me realize that they just didn't like us, because a lot of people made it clear that they weren't able to come if they did the graduation so early and they said this in advance because they had school, and St. Dominic was like, we don't care, we're doing it on this day. It don't matter.
Yeah, they did it earlier than usual too, because they usually do it after. They do it the last week of school. They usually do it the last week of school.
And I think they did the first week of December.
They did it like the first or second week of December.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, this is weird.
And I remember them complaining like, yo, we can't come, but if you do it the next week, then more people could come. And I was just like, no, we don't care. It's not gonna happen.
Dominic, you are so sweet.
Yo, listen, I could go on and on about the fucked up things though. Like, you know, as much as you know what it is? It was fun in the sense that we had a set of people that could make jokes out of messed up situations, like within our classes and things like that. But the actual system was so messed up, and every day you're reminded that if you're not rich or if you're not the type of person that they want, the model student that they want, they will make your life a living hell. I'll never forget
a high color person, like they
will not be accepting of you. Like from the times I went to the office being cussed out because I didn't have enough money for a public school, just listen. The amount of tears I shed in the name of classism, I will never go back. I will never. Like,
it's so crazy. You remember? I haven't actually talked about this in so long, but it just reminded me. You remember? So our peak pop culture era was like the boys' hairstyle was like long and they had like the little twist and thing. That was our peak. And you remember everybody hairstyle was going like that, and they literally forced everybody to cut their hair.
Mm-hmm. But the same boys with straight hair that had long hair to that length, just not in the style. Could keep their hair though.
I remember that. Again, POA. Everything that was happening in POA. POA room 5, everything was happening. Because that's when the realization I sit in. Because remember, most of those guys were in my class. My POA class. And the same person with the long hair had their hair back in a ponytail. And the realization had kicked in right then. And I was like, yeah. They were like, the hair back, pull up, but I got cut my hair.
Mm-hmm.
But I got cut my hair. And they went off. Like, they went off in class. The room didn't know what to do.
Rightfully so.
But, and I was just like, the short pants, confusion. Like, the man went all around campus to get short pants, and up to this day, I don't see short pants.
I forget, but the thing is, they have don't they have short pants in St. Dominic now? Because I remember they got all the signatures that was asked for. They did everything they needed to do to get, like in our year, they did everything they needed to do to get the approval. They still said no. And then a couple years later, you know, when they got all of us out, I see people in St. Dominic wearing like short capri pants. And I'm like, oh, so it just was the fact that it was us. It was just the fact that it was the men that was asking you for it. It was the problem.
You know what the argument was? The argument was like, oh, but the girls got skirts. First of all, them skirts were ugly.
Exactly. Who was wearing that? Who?
Second of all, I don't like skirts.
Exactly.
Third of all, it's hot. Like, give me short pants to put on. And they're like, oh, but some girls not gonna wear the short pants, right? If you provide the right type of short pants, it's not going to fit as exposing, quote unquote, how it's supposed to be. And why are you watching 12 to 16-year-olds in the first place if they too exposing? What?
Literally. Like, it's hot. We live in a Caribbean, not country. Well, country. Yeah. Let's not have that conversation. But yeah, we live on an island. Why is it that I am wearing a thick polo and freaking heavy pants? Okay, granted, I could have wear them tight girly pants, but it was not happening. I was wearing my
those are uncomfortable. Those just not look uncomfortable.
Like, why was there not an option? There's literally a Dickies capris. There's literally, you could have said, okay, these are the only type of shorts you will wear. I would be accepting of that. I would have been accepting of that. And let's take the boys into consideration. Did I get hot too? You want them to wear, like, you're not gonna let them wear a skirt. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? And I could have sworn I had seen that now they're able to. I could be wrong though, but when I had seen that, it really made me realize it's not because of the fact that they wanted the short pants. It's the students that were asking for it.
It was us. A lot of it boiled down to it was us. You remember when we could have wear black, blue, or brown shoes?
Mm-hmm. And then we came, and then it was just black.
We had that for like the first year and change, and then everybody already buy their shoes for the new year, and they were like, no, you need to buy black shoes.
Yep.
I'm sorry, no personality. You dye your hair, it was a problem. But somebody who had straight hair dye their hair
It was
with
what it was.
Kool-Aid packets, it was fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You couldn't have piercings, but other people had their whole hair up to the top.
Exactly.
And I was just like,
it was just painfully obvious, like, who they was targeting. They didn't even really try to hide it. But then why the school rules don't apply to them?
Right? But as we wrap up, what words do you have for the people?
Words I have is, listen, as much as we talking all of these things, I just want to tell y'all, make sure y'all stay good, stay great in this weather. Okay, if you live in cold countries, please, fall and winter season can be hard, but don't worry, we got this. We're gonna take our vitamins. We're gonna be warm. If you don't live in a cold country, that's fine too. Make sure you just stay positive. You live your life. You enjoy life. Life's short, and even in this panoramic, pendicular, whatever. Make sure you live it up safely. Do what you gotta do. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Just live your life, and in your best way, and don't worry about nobody, as long as they're not hurting you. Period. And thank you, Kamilah, for having me, because it was lit.
It's always a good time to be at Tori Lake. I don't think nobody understands the dynamics. I apologize for everybody who see us when we go home. You ain't home next summer, right? Anyways, that's a different matter. But I apologize for anybody who see Tori and I next summer, because we have not been in a physical space with each other since 2018.
Literally.
And we're going to be drinking, and we're going to just be yelling, and we're going to be loud, and you're going to just have to deal with it, because
acting a fool. I
don't understand. Like, you see the road, you see the concrete, bottom will be on the concrete. Like, it just don't like, nobody understand.
You will not catch us inside. It will be outside.
The crazy thing about it, though, we're saying all of this and we will be inside, but me and Tori don't go nowhere.
No, not really.
We will text each other. We'll be on the same rock inside, texting each other how much we next to each other. It's fine.
Literally. Mind you, we live close to each other too now. It's just.
Not no more. I cool, you know. I get kicked out.
True. You're right. Now we far.
Not me saying I get kicked out, like I actually get kicked out. My brother has claimed residence over my bedroom, so I don't have a bedroom in my South 3 Ward residence. That's the right word.
Yes, exactly.
But they make it sound like Connie and Jimbo kick me out on the street, and then we're gonna have all that problem, and then my father gonna be like, why are you scandalizing my name? He going to call me on the phone and ask me why he's scandalizing his name. And it's just not okay now.
I did. Nah.
But as we wrap up, thank you guys for listening to episode 4 of season 2 of the We Talkin podcast. If you want more great context, well, go listen to the last 3 episodes if you haven't as yet. And then moving forward, we'll definitely have less chaotic interviews like this. This was just, a great key moment. But in the next couple of episodes, we'll be sitting down with a lot of people, talking a lot more about St. Martin and culture and news and everything in between and everything island, right? Because, island girl. Everyone have a good night. Bye. Bye.